You mentioned that there is a whole entire list of cleaning chemicals that you evaluate against. I think there are what 950 on the choice list there. And I'm really intrigued. Like, how does someone get on that list? Can they just like say, hi, I'm on the list and claim that they are? Is there a process they have to go through?
And there's a whole process, and we review this on a rolling basis. And we've been able to say that, we use this mostly for the Safer Choice label for cleaning chemicals, but other companies like Apple and Levi's will use that safer chemical ingredient list for their manufacturing process to say, these are the chemicals that we want to use, whenever they can. And so I think that's important as well. But we review it. We reviewed it last time a few months ago, where we will add a couple of chemicals to the list, working with companies that make those chemicals, and it goes through a review process. And we also sometimes take some chemicals off of that list. And so, are you familiar with PFAS chemicals? Does that come up in your work?
Sometimes, but it's not as common as it could be. And it depends on where in the country or where in the world people are. We get
Right.
questions all the time about, is this available in my area? So in some areas, there are chemicals that are more available than in other areas.
Well, PFAS is a kind of emerging chemical of concern, I would say. It's a group of chemicals. And so recently we took here at EPA at the Safer Choice program, we took some actions with our safer chemical ingredient list to, move, or we call it putting a gray square on a chemical. So putting a gray square on the chemical saying we're phasing this off of the list. And we've done that with PFAS chemicals. And it's actually been a good story because it's something that's been coming up in the news a whole lot. It's a class of chemicals that they've been concerned with. But we worked with, there was a water-based floor finish that was thought not to work well without PFAS, but we worked with that company, that Safer Choice partner, and with reformulating that floor finish. So it no longer included that chemical of concern. And we're told that it works just as well, if not better, than the original version. And so, we're looking on an ongoing basis, not just a, static, like these are great chemicals, leave them on the list, but we're really looking at it on an ongoing basis and taking chemicals on and off the list based on what our toxicologists find. So, I've come from a law background, but we have a team of, biologists, toxicologists, other professionals here and, doing the homework, like I said.
I have watched some TikTok videos where people mix all kinds of stuff and they do some really entertaining kinds of things. And it's not really very safe. And it makes me really upset that we watch and we pass it around millions of times and go, oh my goodness, look at all this. What advice can we give to maybe the youth that are out there that think it's okay to we're not talking any safer choice at this point. We're just talking, they're just mixing chemicals and they don't know what they're mixing. And there could be some really serious messages that need to be shared with them in the terms of this could be hazardous to your health.
Right. Yeah. I watched some of those probably same videos, and I have a 12-year-old stepdaughter who, likes to make slime and things like that. And so, I'm very cautious and try to make sure that I'm, supportive of wanting to experiment with science, but doing so in a way that is overseen by a teacher or someone, and not, because we want to make sure that not combining bleach and ammonia. So we don't want to do anything that could encourage anything that could be very dangerous. So yeah, I share your concern there. But I think with Safer Choice, we have our toxicologists, doing all of this work and really want to make sure that people are staying away from anything potentially dangerous.
And I love that you have a team, because as small business owners, we do not. And as homeowners, we do not. And so to be mixing chemicals, we do not and should not be doing that. Okay. Now that I got that out there, yay, I feel better already.